Alright, we're changing the radiator on an International Cub, 1974 model. International Cub. We're going to take the old radiator out. We got the new one coming in. We paid about 130 bucks for it. Free shipping. You can find it on eBay, different places, different tractor supply places. But we got all these bolts to take off, and the radiator's apart. This is the part of the radiator housing.
Holds the coolant, yeah.
Yeah, the belly of the vehicle. Bolts have been on here so long, we gotta use an impact to get them off. So all you really have to do is remove the four, after you remove the hood, remove the 4 flathead screws right here on the fan shroud. You should be able to just back the fan shroud up enough. And if you got a long enough extension, I recommend a 6-point socket. You get down in there, you got some pretty rusty bolts here to deal with. Unless you get the the new bolt kit, it comes with stainless steel bolts, but this is the factory bolts. Probably down the factory radiator. It's hard to believe, but I'm pretty sure it is the factory radiator.
I think it is. Look at the paint.
It's not just the paint. It's the fact that it's not stainless steel bolts.
Oh yeah, stainless steel is probably what they regularly put after people had problems removing these.
Right. Or breaking them off or whatever.
Like we are, sort of.
We're not breaking them off yet.
No, but I know we did try to attempt to go after these with just a regular 1/2-inch wrench, and
not a 12-point socket. It's not going to do it.
No.
So you need a 6-point socket.
Maybe an impact. Maybe.
Impact makes it much easier.
We had our other impact gun on there. It wouldn't budge those bolts.
Yeah, but that's only 60.
About 60 pounds.
60 foot-pounds. This Milwaukee goes up to what, 2,500 foot-pounds?
1,500 actual, without a multiplier.
Jesus. Well, here.
It's a shipbuilder's impact.
Well, I know one thing. It's doing a number on my arm, holding it in the air. Okay, got that one bolt down there behind the shroud. You gotta lift up on the shroud, pull it back evenly.
There.
Got just enough room to put a socket in there. Anyway, I'm sure people don't want to see us sit here and take all these damn bolts out. So we'll go ahead and stop the video, and we'll get another new radiator in. We'll add this, incorporate this into the video.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got our radiator out here. Got all this soot in here. We're going to flush all this gook out. Oh man. Look at this shit in the bottom.
No wonder it was clogged.
And clogged and leaking. Oh jeez. That's the bottom pins on the radiator. That's the rust. Now we put vinegar in here a few days ago. Vinegar was gonna eat at the rust, so looks like it's doing a good job, but we're not satisfied with this. We're gonna suck all this out and flush it through with a hose and do all that, and then we're gonna wire wheel this gasket off and get ready for the new gasket prep, and then paint this. Paint it the original International yellow, and then probably paint the front of the fan here, whatever we can get to, the fan shroud. Then our new radiator should come in. We'll replace this hose, which is all rotten, and get rid of all this nasty shit.
Yeah, it's gunky in there, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You see that on the camera?
Yeah, I know. It's probably had stop leak in it over the years. It's probably had lots of shit in it. But anyway, this is how you remove the radiator, and we have our parts situated right here to come off. It's pretty self-explanatory. You got your radiator support brackets, or your hood support brackets. This is support your hood, and I laid them out how they came out, so that I know my flat bars go in the center. I know that this one is, you know, right, left, Pacific, because of the tits on here that hold the hood on. We know that they were closer to the front of the tractor, so that the hood goes on, bolts in the appropriate way. Anyway, this is our $150 radiator, which is probably our original. We put a new cap on it, but
You save that.
yeah, we just put a new cap on it the other day. Takes a regular forward radiator cap. At least that fit this International.
Still water in there.
Yeah, nothing was passing through that, man.
There's a bunch of black soot just dripped out.
Yeah, there's no way this was ever gonna work. I mean, people said clean it, do all this stuff, but our tank already expanded right here. And our aluminum's deteriorating. There's no telling what's going on inside. I can see places where it was leaking. Okay, so when we get the new radiator, we start cleaning this mess up. We'll film the installation. All right, we got a new radiator, and we clean this up a bit. I'm gonna throw some RTV on here. Nobody wants to take this off again, believe me. Here to scrape at all the barnacles in the bottom of this. It's like more than you see on the Titanic. Bottom of the ocean. They had so much standing water in here for years. You could tell it was a factory radiator that was in here since 1974. So we threw some implement paint on here, like I said. And we're just going to put a little RTV to make sure it seals up all the pits. Even though the gasket will probably do just fine. It's not the best paint job, but you know what? It'll work for a tractor. We just did it quickly. Later we'll sandblast this tractor. Sandblast the parts that are important and go back and paint it right. These metal brackets, support braces that go on here, act like crush sleeves. They need to be compressed down because the aftermarket radiator that you get won't be straight. Not at the bottom, it won't be straight. So we got to kind of rely on crushing it down as best as we can. Put it a little thicker because I don't like the wavering radiator that they sold us. It's kind of bent up.
At the bottom where it most matters.
I mean, you could tell it's a substandard, but it's better than nothing. You tell how it was kind of wavy, and I beat it straight. I put it on a piece of flat board, and I beat the dents out of it and make a seal.
I'll have that here.
Yeah, okay. Grab that shroud.
Alright.
Right there. My half-ass painted shroud. That goes this way.
Yeah, but you put that on first.
You think?
Yeah. It's hard to get off in the first place.
That's what I thought. Okay. Alright. And this paint is bought from Tractor Supply. It's International Yellow. International Cub Yellow.
Cub yellow and IH white.
Yeah, even though this is more or less a Farmall painted yellow for some reason. From what I've been researching, it's what it looks like to me.
Farmall Cub.
Yeah, it's more built like a red Farmall. I don't know why it's yellow, but I remember we said these pieces were right and left Pacific.
Yes.
I think we said that. You can tell we're amateurs. We just didn't even wait for the paint to dry, but overnight this stuff takes 24, 48 hours to dry. And it had, what, about 12 hours?
Yeah.
No, about 6 hours.
You really think?
Yeah, because we were up late last night doing this.
Damn, yeah,
stripping
right.
some of this down, and we couldn't go at all of it, but we got most of it down. Alright, all our holes are pretty much lined up.
We got our white bolts.
Yeah, I ran out of yellow, so I used white for the bolts.
IH white.
I don't think anybody's going to pay attention. I mean, these bolts were so rusty. And they're still kind of wet. Not fully, but they're going to get scarred up from the ratchet anyway, right? Get the rest of our old rusty bolts. They were rusted so bad. A lot of the, came off. The markings. I just clean these bolts with lye, which you can find in commercial degreasers.
Like Zap, other things.
Zap degreaser, lye. It's got lye in it. Lye cleans rust pretty good. It'll continuously eat at it, so I'd definitely be aware of that. Yeah, I'm gonna scratch this paint all up, I don't care. It's not fully cured. All our bolts are in but not tight, so what we're gonna do is start in the middle. Eeh.
Smash that gasket.
Yeah, but we gotta be careful, it's a quart gasket. Alright. The idea is to work from the center out. That way, you don't bow it unevenly in the middle. Get an even seal. Once I see the gasket mush out a little bit, I'm done. Okay, we got the gasket to smush out.
After the radiator.
Huh?
Is that after the radiator?
Gas in there, right? Still got enough in the bowl.
We have to put that air filter back on, huh?
Nope. I need to clean the carburetor a little bit more and then change the fuel, change the oil filter, change the oil. Take the oil out of the hydraulic box, drain that and change that. We're going to change the ignition switch, we're going to change the headlight switch, change a few more things on it. Come on.
Come on, girl. Nevertheless, though, radiator came out good.
Good to go. Right.
I'm going to have to give it some gas. Radiator's not leaking. A little bit of gleam in there from when it spilled earlier.